Global warming, invented by boomers in the 70s and 80s when they didn't think they'd be around to witness the consequences of unchecked greenhouse gas emissions. However, they didn't account for improvements in the medical field keeping them alive longer than they deserve, so now they have to come along with us to suffer through this burning hellscape of their own creation. For those of you living in Arizona who aren't exactly sure what everyone else is complaining about, allow me to explain what global warming is. The literal definition is just right there in its name. It's a phenomena tied to the greenhouse effect. Imagine the Earth is a baby, and greenhouse gases are a locked car, and the sun is, well, it's the sun. You may be wondering why the name greenhouse effect. Well, have you ever walked into a greenhouse and immediately thought, wow, it's like I'm being smothered to death by weighted heated blankets? The greenhouse effect is that, but everywhere. The reason why greenhouses get so hot is because the glass allows solar radiation in, which heats up the inside, but the glass doesn't allow all of the heat to leave, slowly but surely making it an unfit place for mere mortals. Sometimes this heating is referred to as the hot box effect, but that's sorta different. Similarly, above the Earth there is a thin layer of glass with the perfect thickness and composition to allow the perfect amount of solar radiation in and maintain an ideal level of heat. This layer is known as the ozone layer, taking its name from the human ozone. The two are very similar in that you've never been able to find it on your own, but plenty of scientists have told you that it is in fact there. The ozone layer helps maintain a livable environment here on Earth, but certain gases such as carbon dioxide and methane in high enough concentrations will eat away at the glass and take its place within the ozone layer, allowing in more solar radiation than there is meant to be, which in turn causes more heat to be generated, and these gaseous sections of the ozone layer don't allow the recommended of heat to escape the Earth, and more heat produced, no matter the source, throws the ozone's equilibrium out of whack, causing the Earth's surface temperature to rise. These sources of heat can be any number of things. Solar radiation, that's the big one everyone knows. Fires, both wild and domestic. Lil B's entire discography has been a major contributor to rising surface temperatures. Thank you, based god! Synapses firing. People who engage in complex problem solving on a routine basis cause more harm than those who spend their time just watching anime and jerking off. Education is destroying our world. Drop out, save the earth. Friction. Ironically, the fact that heat generated by friction is one of the main contributors to global warming means people who don't partake in sexual intercourse are the unsung heroes Earth needs. Yes, we need to procreate to keep our species going, but if everyone was fucking, the Earth would become one big sauna. It is truly a shame that virgins are looked down upon in our society. We are the only ones keeping this planet not burnt to a crisp. Now let's ask ourselves a couple of straightforward questions. Is global warming happening? Yes. Is that a bad thing? Maybe? It really depends on your point of view. Let's say you're a thermophile whose entire life is based around a hydrothermal vent at the bottom of an ocean. If the rest of the planet would just heat up 80 or so degrees, you'd be free to explore all you wanted. Let's say, however, you're a marijuana-phile whose entire life is based in a town which only by the grace of Poseidon has not yet been swallowed by the sea. Well, if things get any hotter and sea levels rise any higher, even the god of the sea is going to say enough is enough and let Kyogre's wrath rain down upon you. And then what are you going to do? Run to the place you always go when there's an emergency? Canada? Actually, that sounds pretty cool. We can have a 24/7 tulip festival across the whole country. It'll be great. One clear negative is that eventually it's going to get so hot that we won't have any ice to play hockey on anymore. And then all we have left is field hockey. That's like the Oshawa of stickball sports. Adding on to the list of positives, with rising sea levels, that means an increase in the volume of liquid water on Earth, which means more space for fish to start and raise their fish families, creating the perfect environment for the rebounding of dwindling fish populations. Now, we need to discuss the most important benefit of global warming. Much of the political elite of the world is against global warming. They would rather see us maintain a livable average temperature. Thankfully, the leader of the free world is the most anti-establishment man you can find, and has done everything he can to work against the elite. The most extreme example of this is pulling America out of the Paris Agreement, which seeks to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions. Why is it that those in power wish to prevent the world from getting hotter? Well, it's the same reason sea levels rise when the world gets hotter. As the temperature rises, the massive ice wall which surrounds our flat Earth melts little by little. At the current rate, the ice wall will have melted to the point of being able to cross it by 2050. Those in power don't want us to know what lies beyond the wall, because they know whatever secrets are on that side of the ice will lead us to our salvation, and we will be free from the tyranny of the 1%. Sure, we'd all probably be boiled alive by the overflowing, extremely hot salt water, but god damn it, is our liberation not more important than our lives, and the lives of our children and grandchildren, and any potential continuation of humanity? I think it is. With all that in mind, let's get out there and do all we can to make sure our world becomes totally uninhabitable. It's for the good of all of us. And now a word from some of my patrons. Eitzkodal. It's a cool place and they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. But the meteor man begs to differ. Meteorologists, climate scientists. Judging by the hole in the satellite picture. Hole in the ozone layer. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin. Ice caps melting. The water's getting warm so you might as well swim. Irregular climates heating up the oceans, thus disrupting the weather of many major cities. The world's on fire. How about yours? Plain and simply global warming. Smash Mouth was warning us the entire time. Also, no joke, this shit is a complete emergency, Lamau. Capitalism caused this, and it's going to end us if something isn't done to stop it. Now! Daz. Honestly, as a Brit, I don't mind global warming. 40 Celsius sounds great compared to this wet, miserable weather. Disco Killer. Global warming? Why is it cold in the winter then? It's all a farce to get the carbon tax bread. Blah. Johnny Joestar. Thank you, based god. Kurami-san. I can see the Gulf in 3 directions from my house. If shit gets any warmer, I'll see it in 4. The real young cashew. Global warming, more like global underperforming to kill us all, am I right? Up top.